you be in an open marriage? Is monogamy going against biology? Ooh. So I'm gonna throw this one to Danny.
Okay. Could I be in an open marriage? I think I could.
Okay.
I think I could be in an open marriage. But I don't know how sustainable it is to be in an open marriage. I feel like it's something gonna happen. And it's gonna be a problem at some point. And I mostly feel like that because I feel like it's gonna be my husband who is gonna have a problem. Like he wouldn't even agree to it anyway. So I could probably be in an open marriage with another man.
Okay.
Possibly. But I just think no matter what, at some point I would probably get tired of it and want to be monogamous again.
So what stipulations would you have around the arrangement?
I don't know. Like, I guess don't have any babies or that you have to get tested, STD tested before you have sex with somebody. You have to get them tested and let me see the results.
Okay. Do you want to know?
They need to be getting a psychological evaluation too.
Hey, this is she want a job.
She want to going through all of that.
People be crazy
before they start. Look, you meet
I'm just saying.
You meet somebody and you're like, oh, okay, I'm attracted to you. When's the last time you've been psychologically evaluated?
Like, how do you stop your husband from sleeping with somebody who is batshit crazy and who is going to be trying to track him down?
You can't. That's why I think it's a setup.
It is a setup. That's why I said eventually something would happen where we probably wouldn't make it, or then I guess I wouldn't. Okay. Like, it sounds good. I think I could do it, and I trust my decision making and my judgment, but I don't trust his. So that's the problem. I feel like he don't trust trying to hit whoever it look good. Like, you're not going off of like making good decisions. You really just going off of looks, like most men.
Right. He's not thinking about who
He's not thinking about He's not thinking about the stuff that's actually important. Like, you're going specifically off. Does she have a fat ass? Does she got some big boobs? Like, how her face looks?
Physically attracted.
Right.
To her.
You want off strictly physicality, which I can't blame you for. But at the same time,
that's how it all starts.
Right. But at the same time, you kind of got to think about more than that if you're gonna be in an open relationship, because your decisions still affect me and potentially our children.
Yep.
Yeah, because how do you, like, when they say open marriage for those who have kids, how does that even work?
I don't know.
Do the kids know?
Yeah, I think that would have to be like when we empty nesters. Like, maybe we could go do...
My kids would not have it.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, there are things that kids shouldn't be involved in general, in my opinion. Kids should be allowed to be kids, and adult things and conversations should be. But
how do you keep it from entering their lives?
What are you doing? Bringing these people home, dating? I mean,
well, no, you could be out. So you got people like me. I don't lie to my kids. So if you ask me who daddy's out with, I tell you who daddy's out with. And then my kids have follow-up questions. Always. They want to be all up in our business. But I want them to know me. That's the difference. So
I guess you would have to be a little bit more selective about what you tell them if you were in that kind of situation. And you didn't want them to think that it was okay to do it too.
Yes. Or if you knew they would have a problem with it or it would affect them emotionally somehow.
Right.
Then you gotta be careful with what you say. I'm going out with a friend. You could say the friend's name. Like, people of the opposite sex can be friends.
That's true.
You know.
My kids would definitely have questions if it was somebody of the opposite sex.
Ron would be like, who is that? I've never heard of them.
And then I also think, like, if you did it as an empty nester, you could do it in a controlled environment. Like, we could go to hedonism.
Right.
Or, you know, like, it don't have to be, oh, this is our lives every day, all day, and we just get to do whatever we want. Like, it could be, we go on a adult only resort, and I'm giving you free reign to do what you want to do here. I can do what I want to do here, and when we get home, it's back to normal.
It's more sporadic. It's not like it's not
right. It's not routine. Yeah.
So could you?
Hell no.
All right, and why not?
At all?
At all. Okay. I mean, honestly, I don't have the self-esteem for it. I don't have the. I'm very selfish with my man, with my family. Period. Like, I think of. I don't care what you be contributing. I don't care how much I would like her. I can like you, but you can't be with my man.
Right.
I don't want it.
I feel the same way, and I think for me it's because it is like a setup for issues.
Yeah.
To crop in. Because you might start liking somebody more. What if they're doing it for you and it develops into something else? It becomes more serious. Or like the whole like self-esteem thing. What if you see a picture of another woman and you're like, damn, so that's what you like now? It's like the complete opposite of you.
Like what if
It'll bring up a lot of questions.
Somebody that's nothing like you.
Right. It'll bring up a lot.
You don't like me.
It's going to cause problems at some point, somewhere down the line.
Or brought up somebody exactly like you, and you be like, was I not enough?
So for me, it's a no too.
Yeah.
It's a no.
Too many questions.
Too many potential issues that could arise.
Also,
You could get someone psychologically evaluated, but they break after meeting you and after having that evaluation, and they get fucking crazy. And you come outside and like somebody is spray painted your house or something.
Well, that leads me into the next question. Like, is monogamy? Oh, you said is monogamy
Going against biology.
Going against biology, and then
Yes.
So I feel like it kind of is a little bit. Like we make a conscious decision to be with one person, but I don't know that we are designed to.
Yes. I
Like, we
completely
choose it.
agree with that. Because on a biological level, right, men create sperm as long as they're healthy till the day they die. So I think that biologically speaking, maybe men are supposed to spread their seed more.
So we're just talking about sex.
Well,
I'm thinking
we
the
can
sex.
go
Because
further.
the other thing is, I don't have the bandwidth to try to get to know anybody else and tend to their needs and their egos and their I don't want to do too many.
That's the part.
It's a lot.
Because I can't just sleep with somebody without having some sort of connection. That's why I think
I don't want it.
that it would be harder for me. Like I could do it, but I would have a boyfriend. Like it wouldn't even be like a bunch of random guys. I would have a boyfriend on the side.
When I think about having to worry about somebody else's feelings, another person's feelings, it gives me anxiety.
No, I don't feel that way. I'm okay with having to worry about. Honestly, I don't feel like I could do. Like I can do it. I feel like as a person I can do it, but with the life that I have now, no. If I had chosen a different life, then I could possibly see myself. I'm open-minded about it. Like I could see myself being free like that, but like I had 4 kids.
Well, think about,
like,
think
I'm
about
married.
cultures where the man has 10 wives. They're all
See, and I'm against
committed
that.
to him and the family, but the man, has these 10 different women.
I'm against
sister wives,
No.
polygamy.
How do you care for these women how can you do that?
They care for each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God, then be with her.
But
But I know they're doing it for the kids. And to make offspring. I'm glad I don't live in those areas.
Yeah.
And that's not
I think historically speaking, it probably made sense when human civilization was just getting started.
right.
Probably made a whole lot of sense, right? For me, it doesn't make too much sense today, unless that's just what you believe
Well,
and
you just don't
that's
have
what
to
you
be
want.
married.
That's fine. Well, let's talk about that because marriage, in my opinion, is just a legal binding contract.
Business contract.
And it started that way because initially it was for, business, family name, money, property. It was all about
Business
that.
licensing.
They were all arranged at some point. We made it about love later. Humans. We made it all about love. Well, it's not all about love everywhere. There's still arranged marriages and things like that. But we've changed the dynamic of what a marriage is. Now it's about love. You pick somebody you think you're compatible with, that you love, but it wasn't always like that. Everyone wasn't getting married at some point in the history of human civilization.
So could you be in an open relationship if you weren't married?
Ooh. Now see, that's
I
different.
think so. I think I could.
That's different.
Yes,
It
because
would
I'm not
depend on the
married.
conversation. Like the communication has to be there. Otherwise, you just out here thotting and bopping. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, they got to be on board. That's
Oh,
when people
yeah.
say, I'm dating other people. Then you're just dating other people. That's an open relationship. Matter of fact, when you're not married
You in a relationship.
and you're in a relationship, you're kind of in an open relationship.
Right. You not really locked in on
If
the same
you're
level.
talking to your partner about it.
Yeah.
But then that depends on what you believe too, because like you said, you feel like it's just in a piece of paper. I feel similar. I don't feel like a lot changed because I got married. Mm-hmm. Do you?
Not in the
Like
beginning.
taxes, yes. Like
Yeah.
some things.
Well,
did
I
change.
changed. He's changed. So,
The men take it a lot more. They take it seriously.
well,
They take it.
I think
like,
women do too.
yeah.
I'm not saying women don't, but I feel like men, when they finally choose you and they finally find that one that they believe they're going to spend the rest of their life with, they do not take that lightly.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Like
but yeah, women don't either. Because I can tell you this, I was scared to death. Like, I loved him more than I can't imagine. I still can't imagine being with anybody else. But I was like, do I want to tie myself to him for the rest of my life? Because I've seen what that looks like. Do I actually want to do that?
Okay, so everybody here, was anybody like ultimatum, you gotta marry me, or were you like more apprehensive about marriage and he was like gung ho?
No ultimatum. For us, it was, let's get married. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Let's do it. We were very young too. It was just fun for us, and we were happy in that moment to be doing it. Like, we were engaged for 4 months, and we went to the Justice of the Peace and got married, and the rest is history.
My husband told somebody else we would get married before he told me. And I actually just overheard the conversation, told our niece that. And I was like, were you going to talk to me about this?
So how'd you feel about it? Were you like...
I was nervous because I was like, marriage and kids weren't even on my radar. It wasn't like I was young. I was at 28, so I was 30. And it still wasn't on my radar. Like, okay, we got a kid now, but I still wasn't like, we have to get married.
Yeah, for me, we were... First of all, my husband is 7 years older than me. So he was like, I want to get married. And I was like, I don't know about that. I was like, I don't know if I want to get married. Like,
for me, marriage always seemed like it came with expectations, and I didn't want that.
what did you think the expectations were?
You gotta have it all. You gotta be the independent woman, but all make your own money, but also be pretty and all. Like all this shit. Like you gotta be on all the time.
Yeah.
And you gotta have the energy to take care of this family, and be happy. Or if you're not you can't do both. You gotta keep it in the house. Like you can't let anybody know you're not feeling well.
Interesting.
Really?
You know
So
what I'm
it,
saying? And
completely
I was like,
opposite for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
I was
wanna do
looking
that.
forward to getting married and having children and having that life partner, but I did kind of have a similar upbringing with, be independent. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like for my mom, she's like, I don't need a man, I want a man. There's a difference. So you gotta be able to do for yourself, and don't rely so much on that man to be your everything.
You know what? Now
But my father's really doting on my mom, so I saw both sides of
Right.
that.
My dad was very doting on my mother, but he's such a walking, talking contradiction. He would say things like, how you gonna get a husband if you can't cook, but then go out there and make me cut the grass? You know what I'm saying? So like, am I supposed to do everything?
Right.
I don't want to do everything.
So he planted that in your mind.
Yes.
That you had to be able to do
he used
everything.
to say that all the time, and I'd be like, and as I got older, I'd just brush him off. I learned that I don't have to do whatever the hell you're talking about. Like, it doesn't have to be that way, but I grew up with those expectations. Like, I gotta know how to change the oil, I gotta know how to cook, and I gotta look good. What is he doing?
Right.
What's the expectations for him?
I could see how that could make you be apprehensive.
Yes.
Like, this is gonna be too much work for me. This married thing is gonna cause me to flip out at some point.
And they care about people's feelings.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can be a lot. That can be a lot.
So I was
I mean,
scared.
I grew up in a household where both of my parents did everything, except my mom wasn't outside cutting the grass.
Which is funny. My dad did all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My mom did the stuff in the house. You know how they were.
Yeah.
So why do I have to do what y'all both doing?
Yeah.
If
My father
that's not
would.
the case.
My mom would be cooking and he would be washing clothes. Like prime example. My father did everything in the house that my mother would do.
He taught us how to make French fries.
See?
Like all kinds of stuff.
And my brother's the same way. You know, he knows how to cook and keep a house clean, and so he does a little bit of everything. I didn't marry into that though.
Right. And that's the other thing, right? Everybody's not raised the same.
Right. So having a husband from another country where you grow up with a maid and your mom is running a restaurant, so that's the focus. Like you got to go in and clean the tables and mop the floor and stuff. But the household is like completely different. It's left to the maid. So you take your clothes off, drop them on the floor. The maid comes and picks them up. The maid is making your lunch and your dinner. You know, so household chores was something new to him. I mean, to the point where we used to argue over it. Like, you have to help. I work.
So Hazel don't live here.
Exactly. You better go find Hazel if you want her to do your part, because I go to work, you go to work. We're both contributing financially, so you need to help in the house.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think kind of helped me through it was that, you know how, I don't know if this is true for everybody, but kind of looking at my mother-in-law, I realized that she wasn't like my, you know, she did what she want. She didn't do a whole lot of that stuff. Like, you can cook for yourself, then cook for yourself. You clean up after yourself. My mom would be cleaning the house, complaining the whole time. Y'all don't help me around here. And I understand that. Nobody wants to do it. Somebody has to do it, right? But my mother-in-law, she was like, girl, no. So I was like, so he better not expect, you know, too much different. But I wasn't thinking to myself, well, we lived together before we got married. And I came in there bringing some of the selects, you know, bringing some of my mom. But I didn't really want to do it. I didn't want to do that stuff. And this is to say marriage, and I'm like, oh, wait, I got to lock myself into this?
Right, and now you feel like I have to do it.
Yeah, now I have to do it because this is what I put out there. Only because it needed to be done. Not because I wanted to do it.
It's not wife's duties. It's
not.
Just duties.
It's
that's why I did this.
Duties.
I know. No, yeah.
Household duties.
It's household duties.
Yeah.
I had to actually write a list because I was getting so fed up. I wrote a list of everything I do in the house and everything he does in the house. And my list was more than double the length of his.
Oh.
And so seeing that, he was like, damn. Because he's not thinking about everything that I do.
That's the problem.
So, like, even like me being
you
sick.
do it, and
right.
they don't see you doing it.
They don't see you doing it, right. When I was sick and he would have to clean the house. But there were things that he just didn't think to do. That I'm like, okay, you clean the bathrooms, but can you clean the mirrors? Like, there's just little things that he just is not used to. He wasn't raised to have to do household chores. He had other responsibilities. But it's a learning process, you know. Yeah. But we had to get through all the arguments to get to the place where I was like, look, I don't want to argue with you, but I need your help. And I'm going to show you this list of things.
So this brings me back to the original question with the open marriage thing. So let's say you do go along with it. That person is getting a good time. They don't live with you. They getting to hug you.
Very good.
And then
point.
you in the house resentful. Yep. Like, I've been out with this man. You ain't been in here cleaning up, taking care of these kids. Why should I take care of these kids while you out having a good time?
Yeah. But you get to have a good time too. When it's your turn.
Yeah, when it's your turn. But while I'm out, you might be in here festering. Like,
well, if he agreed to it and y'all both agreed to it, then he either needs to speak up and say, okay, this is not what I want anymore because I'm feeling away every time you leave.
I'm definitely.
And it's going to be a problem if I keep feeling this way. I'm going to start acting out or whatever. Or he can be completely okay with it and be able to roll with it and not feel that way.
See, I married King Petty, so, and I know who I married. So.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Me too.
It would not, and we, you know, I'm fine with it, but that's why I know it wouldn't, it couldn't happen.
It couldn't happen. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know that it couldn't happen, no matter what the circumstances were with my husband. Like, it would not happen.
Yeah, with my current husband.
Right.
It ain't happening. Another man touching me?
Honestly, I don't think I could be married again. if it didn't
You
work
said
out.
that.
I stand by it.
My husband says that.
Yeah.
Can you tell what
Oh,
side?
Leon
And
says
I'm
that
like,
too.
bro, so what you gonna do for the rest of your life? You just gonna be out here? He was like, I'm just gonna be hitting everything moving. I was like, I cannot.
Yeah, my husband said the same thing. He's not getting married again.
Because it's the pain for them. It's like my heart will be broken and I won't be able to recover from it. And I'm not gonna drag another woman through.
We
Like,
were
I'll be
actually
honest
talking
with
about-
them and tell them what I'm looking for, but I would not be in another serious relationship.
I had to tell him because we were talking about actually death. So becoming a widow or a widower, you know, would you consider getting remarried? And he said no. He was like, "You're my wife. That's it. That's it." So yeah, and I'm like, please go on with your life. If you find someone and y'all are good for each other, get married. Remarry. And if you don't, I'm gonna haunt you until you marry that woman. Like, get married.
I'm gonna haunt you till you
marry. If you
make her
find
your
someone,
wife.
yes, if you find someone and you're really in love, go on with your life.
Well, Ramal hasn't. I haven't talked to my husband about it, but my daughter straight up told me, "You're my only mommy.
That's right.
Forever,
That's
always.
okay.
I'm never gonna have another mommy. Even in the next life, you're gonna be my mother." I was like, "Oh,
Okay.
girl, you better talk to your daddy about that. What if something happened to me? You gonna let him do your hair? Who do you think? Like, there's some things that only you and I can do and share, and like, you're gonna need women in your life." She's like, I got Gigi, I got Mama, I got Auntie. 6 years old. She's like, nope.
I understand that. Yeah. If either one of my parents had remarried, I still have my other parent. You know?
Right.
I can have a relationship with a step parent. That's fine. I have a good relationship with my mom's boyfriend right now. You know? Like, that's fine. But I know who my father is.
Right.
Nobody's taking his place. Nobody's taking her place. But
That's interesting. That's something I've never had to think about, really. Like, I don't know. I think if my mom left my dad or my dad alone, I would be so... I wouldn't want to know anything about a new relationship.
don't even
it's
bring
been
it to me.
Yeah, like, I don't even take it seriously. Like, I don't even want to know.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. Again, that's another personality. I gotta, like, I don't really want to care for more people.
You don't have
You
to.
don't have to.
Is that
I
a
noticed
terrible
that you say that a
thing?
lot about caring, having to care about somebody
Because
else.
it takes a lot out of me. It takes
Really?
a lot.
What is it about caring for other people? When you say caring, you mean caring for or caring about?
About.
Really? What about that takes a lot out of you?
Because I get when I let people actually into my life and actually get to know me, or like I start to care for them or care about them, I kind of take on some of their stuff. I'm very protective, or when they're hurting, I take on their
You
hurt,
let other people's problems
and
become
I
your
don't
own.
want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that way.
See, and I don't
Your
want
problems
it.
is your problems.
It's something
I'll
that
give you advice.
I
I'll
pick and
talk
choose.
to you, and yeah, it depends.
I pick and choose.
It becomes very hard once it happens. It's very hard for me to cut it off. So, let's say you come into one of my parents' lives, but it doesn't work out. Now I'm just like,
oh no, I'm not that way. My mom has had several boyfriends, and every time they break up, I'm just like, oh, okay. And so the next one come, I'm
Well,
like,
see,
okay.
it's just been her
This is
it's
an
parents
adult.
my
though.
parents stuff.
for
Right.
38, 39 years, right?
39, going on 40 next year.
Yeah, my parents have been married. It'll be 41 years this year, but they've been separated for a majority of that. They're just separated. They're not legally divorced. They're just separated. But I think, is it because you feel like you put a lot into getting to know a person, and then you start to feel like, I have a connection with this person, and if this person isn't going to be around, I'm going to have some separation anxiety or whatever
it is.
Whatever it is you're feeling. Do you feel like you have to meet the expectations of everybody who is in your life?
No, not anymore. I used to, but I don't feel that way anymore.
That's
It's
a lot
just
of pressure.
it is, yeah. That I've gotten rid of. I was able to get rid of that. But it's me. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily what their expectations are or what they need from me. Because now I'm able to say no to you know what I'm saying? I'm able to not go along with everything that you claim you need from me or whatever. But it's just like, if I actually let you in now, at this point in my life, like, this is it.
For me, relationships have to be reciprocal. Like, there has to be reciprocation.
Right.
Like, if I feel like you're becoming too much, like, you're just
You're taking too much
Taking
from me.
it. Oh, yeah.
Pull myself
But see,
back.
normally people, what I've been finding is that there are people who do that early to me. Like, they're very, and it makes me back away. They'll be, just met me, and it'll be like, oh, I want to talk to you all the time. I want to tell you all my problems. I want to tell you about my whole life. And I'll be like, whoa, okay. I can't take that. I cannot do that. We don't know each other. So
you must have like that kind of energy. And I think for me, I think I've set the standard like in my own mind, and I feel like other people get it too, that you got to be like, you have to be positive. You can't be I just stop talking to you. Like, I'm not going to let you bring me down.
See, we're similar.
Like,
we're very
I'm
similar.
not going to pretend. I'm not going to, like, either we
in that way.
click or we don't.
But people do come up to me and just tell me all their problems. Like, a person will get to know me and open completely up. People have told me they just feel that comfortable with me. I remember we were at like a get together at somebody's house. It was like Leon had met this couple. I think he did work at their house, and they like had, just a connection. So he invited us. The husband invited us to their house, and it was like a bunch of people there. It was like they played games and stuff. But at the end, it was me and this woman like in the corner just talking to each other, and then I was leaving, and she's hugging me, and like, I hope I see you again. And we got in the car, and I was like, do you know her? Like, no, I didn't. But that happens very often with me, where people just completely open up. And that's fine. Like, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I can have that dynamic with you, even if I don't know you that well. I'm okay, because I'm not going to take your problems with me.
Exactly.
And I'm like you, I can cut it off. I can cut somebody off when I know they're becoming a leech.
Even if it's an emotional
I can act like you don't even exist anymore. So.
Me too.
Yes, okay. I'm talking like the first time you meet me, right?
Yes.
And you're opening up. Yes. And I can cut it off. I'm talking about somebody coming into constantly. My brother had a girlfriend that did that, and I was like, yo, she just came on strong from the beginning, and it was just too much, too fast, too soon.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
She's like, you're gonna love me, and I was like, ooh, no, this is you're like.
I'm big on setting boundaries with people though.
Yeah,
like,
this is too much.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah,
this is too much.
And not feeling like I'm wrong for saying that, because I'm not a cold person, but at the same time, I'm not going to let you affect my energy.
Yeah, it comes off cold, but that's
Period.
what I mean when I say I don't want to take on caring for other people or caring about other people, because it's just too much.
Because you had a lot of negative experiences.
Yeah, it just becomes too much. And then once I actually do let you in, and I do want to care for you and all that stuff, like, I can't help but take it on. That's why I keep it small, and I keep it really close. Like, I can't take on whatever comes with being everybody's friend.
Right.
Yeah. I've never tried to be everybody's friend.
I know you have not.
I can read a person from a mile away.
She sure
I
can.
meet people and I'm like,
Nope.
that's a snake. You're a liar.
She's like, nope.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not because, I want to find the bad in people. It's not that. I want to find the good in you.
Because
but I can read other people's energy. I have told